This video is being presented by 5 senior students at BYU-Idaho, presenting their senior capstone project. The biology department has been working with the mechanical engineering department in finding a capsule that would be able to collect bacteria at the height of 40,000 meters in the atmosphere. This bacteria has yet to be collected and tested at universities. In collecting this bacteria, information pertaining to medicinal use could be gathered and applied in the medical world. There was a need for a control and test sample petri dishes filled with agar. The controlled sample was to be the bacteria at lower atmospheric heights, and the test sample to be hermetically sealed until the desired height. The overall weight of the structure had to be below 1 kilogram and structurally sound, due to the changes in pressure of the atmosphere. A previous capstone project was prototyped and is shown in the right-hand picture. This structure was never tested, and there were several flaws in the overall design. The other pictures show a few capsules that have been used in other research but that are overweight and bulky. All these capsules gave us a place to start designing and ideas to bounce off of in our prototyping stage. We began by demonstrating that the idea of a push-pull actuator would be ideal in the situation of having dual samples. The actuator chosen was a solenoid, which functions best at low temperatures, which was ideal due to the location of the capsule and having it function with low usage of power. The first prototype began on the bottom left. Hot chocolate cans provided the design structure and size of the desired final product. Once the idea was proven to work, a 3D printed model was produced. It was then covered in fiberglass, coated in epoxy to provide strength, and a seal to the PLA material. A foam coating was then installed on the outside along with 3D printed attachments. The foam provided insulation and padding, while the attachment provided a location to secure the capsule to the balloon. A lot of prototyping had to be precise since there was a limited budget and all the parts had to work with little margin of error. We were able to produce an FEA analysis for the pressure change and the force exerted on the lids and structure. In both simulations, the material held structurally sound and were able to withstand the forces that the capsule would experience in flight. In our final product, there were slots for 4 petri dishes, 2 dishes for each sample. The actuator was controlled by a pressure sensor, which was programmed to output a voltage in correlation to the change in altitude with one side open at all times. The control sample will initially start in the open position and switch to close at 40,000 meters. During the flight, the battery will use all its power, causing the test sample to close, sealing the test sample at the correct height and collecting the desired material, all while keeping the weight below 1 kilogram. Due to weather, we were not able to launch our capsule. We plan to have our capsule finished and ready to use when the weather has cleared up, so that the biology students will be able to gather information and publish their research from the collected samples. The objective of this project was to design, fabricate, and successfully test a capsule that gathers undiscovered bacteria microbes from the upper troposphere and lower stratosphere for a team of biology students to analyze and study.